How do we create box and whiskers, aka box plots? Well, again, a box and whisker plot is going to use your quartiles, your maximum value, and your minimum value. And basically, it kind of visually represents your data so you can see how it's spread out. Now, when we're doing this, we do need to remember how to calculate your quartiles and the median. Okay, finding the maximum and the minimum is always the easiest part there. But again, we need to make sure we remember how to find the quartiles. So quartiles are going to take our data set and split it into 4 parts. So again, you only need 3 quartiles to split it into 4 parts. So lower quartile, median, and upper quartile. Okay, that's what's going to divide it into 4 pieces. So it's nice to be able to visualize and see our data graphed. Now, how are we going to create it? Well, here are the steps that we're going to take to be able to do this. 2, 5, 1, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the data set we're going to start with. So once we've gathered our data, we can then do something with it. Okay, so we don't want to just gather it just to gather it. So in creating a box plot here, what we're going to do is first order the numbers. So we've gathered the data. We need to now make sure that we organize it. Okay? Anytime you collect data, you always got to organize it. So here we're going to organize it from smallest to largest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Good? All right. Now that we've got our data set, find the median. The median is quartile number 2. All right, the median is quartile number 2. So again, you're splitting your data in half. So now you have 2 numbers to the left and 2 numbers to the right of the median. Now there are times when you have an even number of data sets, but then again, finding the median there, we know we find the average of the middle 2, the mean of the middle 2 numbers. Okay, but here in the data set we found the median. It's 3. Right, now let's find the first and third quartiles. Well, remember the median was right in the middle, but now we have to find halfway between the data set on the left. Well, on the data set on the left, we have the numbers 1 and 2. Okay, we have the numbers 1 and 2, so we need to find what is right in between 1 and 2. What's in the middle of 1 and 2? Well, how you would calculate it is you add 2 plus 1, which is 3, and then divide it by 2. So you get 1.5. So my first quartile is actually 1.5. And then when you look on the right-hand side of the median, you have 4 and 5. But we have to find the number that's right in between 4 and 5 to find quartile 3. So 4 plus 5 is 9, and 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So now we have our lower quartile, our upper quartile. We have 1.5 as quartile 1 and 4.5 as quartile number 3. So now we have all 3 of the quartiles. So we have first, second, and third quartile. Okay, so we have how our data set is now divided up by in these particular areas. So we're going to need to draw a plot line. So basically draw a number line. Okay, your number line, you can put the numbers in between because we know what our quartiles are. We want to make sure it's easy for us to be able to now plot it onto this. So usually when you graph it, you're going to graph it right above it. You don't necessarily have to put it on the number line itself. But this is just to help us to know what are the values that we're dealing with. Okay. Just make sure it's not too short. You want to make sure it's long enough so it gets all the data on there, but also draw it a little bit longer so you can see it a little bit better. Now we can mark all of our quartiles. Remember the median was 3, the lower quartile was at 1.5, upper quartile is at 4.5. So we just draw a line straight down. Okay, notice how all the lines are basically the same length. It doesn't matter. The length of it does not matter. You just want to make sure it's visually enough so you can see what's happening, what's going on. But make all 3 of those line segments the same length though. Okay? because you're going to make a box out of this. Now, the maximum and minimum do matter. Okay, we'll come back to that in 1 second here. Because like I said, you're going to make a box. So here's the box that you would make. Okay, now, again, since you're dividing stuff into quartiles, 25% of your data is in the left square that's there. 25% of your data is in the right square that's there. But now where's the rest of it? Where's the other two 25%? That's where your minimum and maximum values come in. So the minimum was, the lowest number was 1, the highest number was 5. So that's your minimum and maximum. Now with those, you make just little marks. They don't have to be segments. They're little marks because basically you have your box and now you have lines that'll come off, which we call the whiskers. So that's why it's called a box and whiskers, because it's like whiskers that are coming off, like on a cat, you know, like if this was the nose area right of a cat, and then you have the whiskers that come off. That's the idea behind it. So then it would look like this. So 25% of your data is found between 1 and 1.5. Another 25% of your numbers are found between 1.5 and 3. 25% of your values are between 3 and 4.5. And then another 25% is between 4.5 and 5. Right? So that is 100% of your data is between 1 and 5. Hopefully that helped you, kind of walking through that and verbalizing it a little bit. But you also have some instructions that are written out for you that can be helpful.